Hello everyone! Have you ever wondered how to make your life easier in terrainvicta? How to save some time and do that specific action with less clicks? Or maybe you're just wondering what else you should remember about before your next playthrough? My name is Redixos and I welcome you to this terrainvicta tips and tricks video in which I provide you with 10 very useful information that you'll definitely want to keep in mind before you next fire up terrainvicta. First on the list we have mods and how to get them. So if you got terrainvicta from Steam, and that's probably where you've gotten it from, then you would head to the workshop, and that's also enabled for that game. You can head to Steam Workshop, but as far as I know, the mods do not really work when you get them from them. Instead, you have to fire up terrainvicta, go into the mods section, and then browse Steam Workshop. And from here, you can get the mods that you're interested in. Once you do, then you have to go back or close that window, make sure that the mod that you are interested in is enabled, and that very small tick box in the bottom over here, use mods, is also ticked. Then you usually have to restart the game and make sure that those settings did not change. Now, you can get 6 and you can turn 2 other agents from different factions to your side. But the 6 agents that you want to get for yourself are actually quite specific if you want to have a very well balanced and optimized team that can do pretty much everything. I usually go for a tech mogul who can advise very well, and I usually assign him or her to the most powerful country I control. The second on the list is Judge, who I use to crack down those enemy control points, and pretty much that's the only thing I use him for. Other than that, I try to boost administration and security stats, so he doesn't get taken down too easily, and the administration is always nice to have. The third on the list is a celebrity who basically fills the gaps for me. It's up to you how you build them, but I like to give them a couple other options, a couple other missions that they can do, and go for those stats. Usually the missions based on administration are very useful, because that extra action that you can perform. Next we have an operative who is probably one of the most important agents that you can get, especially if you play alien hostile faction. It's also quite obvious what you can focus on here. I go for command, for administration, and then obviously security. Espionage is also quite useful, so don't forget about that as well. The fifth counselor that you can get quite early on for me would be an evangelist, for whom I boost the administration first, obviously, and then go for persuasion. That's a person who can inspire as well, so very useful. Persuasion should be the go-to stat after administration, obviously. And then for a final counselor, I go for astronaut, who can perform various range of missions, but I like to give them that extra option to assault alien assets, because there is a lot of them if you don't control them well enough early game, and pretty much throughout the whole game you have to get those down or the megafauna will spawn and you will be overwhelmed pretty easily. Now, what skills you should aim for and what skills you should avoid? Definitely avoid Megastar. For me personally, that's the worst skill that you can get. Megastar prohibits agent from go to ground mission. That's the worst, especially if that agent has low security and low loyalty stats. Other factions can easily get to them and steal projects from you. Very hurtful, especially if that other faction is servants or a protectorate, or basically from the opposite spectrum. The skills that you definitely want to aim for are Striver, as you can see on the screen, and Quick Learner, which both give you minus 30 and minus 20% fewer XP respectively, needed to level up. That's a huge boost and time saver. Minus 20%, minus 30% even, that's 16 or 14 XP needed to level up, and that gives you a head start when it comes to shrink points and basically doing all the actions that you might need. You may also wonder how I got so many traits for my counselor. Well, that's because of the augmented research stuff that basically gives you more traits to choose from, and the good thing about them is that they do not cost XP, they only cost cash, which as far as I know all cost 500 cash, so they're quite cheap, and that only costs you some time researching it, so definitely go for them. Well, did you know that when you right-click on the tag that you're interested in, let's say ion drive, let's right-click on that, it will open a smaller view of the tag tree and show you exactly what you need to get to the ion drive. And what's also beneficent, it will tell you what is next in the on the research path. So definitely check that out and thank me later. Now, that tip might not be for everyone, but if you are like me, checking what actions you can take against what countries by hovering over their flags in the allies section, or rivals if you wanted to declare wars and stuff, you were very mistaken and wasting your time, because you can simply hover over this small icon over here. It will tell you in sorted categories who you can declare war with, what armies you can disband, and all the other stuff that you can do. So definitely don't waste your time on going through the countries one by one. Hover over this icon and save yourself a lot of time. Did you know that you can hover over a control point that an enemy holds and see when the protection for that point expires? That's very useful when you want to align a crackdown mission perfectly in time before the enemy gets to perform that defend interests. Investing into Unity might be worth doing, even if the Unity is quite good in the country that you're controlling, because it can also shift public opinion towards the faction with the control points. So that's very useful. It even says in the description, but if you didn't know that, well, here you go. Most events in terrainvicta happen randomly, so if you get hit by a very unlucky event or you feel that the game is not treating you fair, you can always go into the load section and reload couple latest saves, and the game does you a big favor by saving last couple turns, so you have plenty of space to maneuver and go around those unlucky events or takeovers. And for my final tip, did you know that when you probe planets, you can do it from this panel over here? But that's not the only one that you can use. You can also go into here and then click on Solar System, and then finally, after you obviously sort the planets by whatever you're interested in, so let's say that I'm interested into let's say water, I click on water, that's then beautifully sorted from high to low. You can also sort it other way. And then this icon, if you can obviously reach the planet that you're interested in, this icon will look differently. For me, it's already looking that way because I already probed that planet. But this icon can be clickable, and you can simply probe all the planets that you can reach from here. And that's very useful, a huge time saver, and it makes your life much easier. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, if you learned something new, then definitely hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and maybe even hit the bell icon to join the Bell Squad and be notified whenever I upload something new. Also, feel free to let me know if you'd like to see a gameplay video of me playing a faction that you might have not seen on YouTube yet. Thanks again and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.